Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have so many thoughts running through my mind that I just randomly was like, I need to start recording and just talk to you guys about kind of some of the things that have come up in my journey and based on some of the people I meet on a daily basis and discussions that I have almost every day, and I'm so blessed to be having almost every day because it gives me perspective on so many different viewpoints and so many life struggles that I would never be able to hear about or even understand had I not encountered that particular person. Now, so the huge topic I really want to talk about is self-sabotage. Now, with any change in life, actually with anything in life, we all have the capability to self-sabotage our progress. I have done it many times. And that self-sabotage is not just in the form of food, is not just in the form of eating the wrong thing. It's not just in the form of not working out or kind of taking the easy way out. It's many more things. It's allowing people who don't add value to your life to make judgments on your life and the way that you live your life, and then you take that judgment or that opinion and make it the center of everything that you do. So one person's opinion of you or one person's critique of what you're doing or what you're not doing really shouldn't be the end all of all your progress. So I'm not saying don't get upset or don't feel some sort of way about someone critiquing you. Sure, why not? If you want to just take the critique, take it with a grain of salt and move on, that's more advisable than taking a critique or taking what somebody said and letting it literally destroy you. Destroy your progress, destroy your inner workings, destroy all the hard work that you put in to get where you are. Because as much as people in your life or in your surroundings might try to mess with your minds, like mind F you, you are the one that does that yourself the most. And I'm 100% guilty of it. Something very interesting, and if you can take note of this in your own life, have you ever noticed that if you had a bad day, you're quicker to discuss it with your friends, or you're quicker to write about it if you journal, or you're quicker to amplify that bad day and keep bringing it up, and maybe the next day even be upset about it and continue telling someone else that hasn't heard about it that story. And then take something good in your life, a good event, or if you had a good day, do you celebrate that just as much as something bad that happened? Do you talk about it endlessly? Do you dwell on your good days as much as you do your bad days? I don't know. I think you don't, because mostly in my experience, anytime I've heard about something or somebody's complaining or talking, it's usually they're not complaining about good things. They're not talking about good things. And I feel like that's so important because in life, there's both good and there's bad. And that's just the way it is with everything. It's no one day, it's not like this happy-go-lucky thing 24/7. We have ups and downs. And those ups remind us that there are downs, and those downs remind us that there are ups. So for every bad day, there's a good one right behind it. And I feel like if we focus our attention more on the positive, and truly, it's not just saying it and it's a bunch of BS. It's actually true. Focus your attention on the positive. Focus on non-self-sabotaging behavior. And that means allowing people into your life that add value to your life, not take away from it, that give you good energy, not take away your energy or drain you. It can't be that every time you're around a person that you feel so depleted after. I feel like the people you surround yourself with or the people that you meet on a daily basis should be people that propel you forward and they make you feel good and they make you want to continue on, because we all have those days where we kind of need that push forward. Then there are those days, let's say we're having these days 20% of the time. 80% of the time, you have to be your own pusher. You have to be your own person that's not allowing you to self-sabotage, and that includes talking down to yourself in your mind. So if you start every sentence with I can't, or it's hard, or I can't imagine, that's where you're going to be. That's literally where you're going to be. You'll be stuck there forever because you have this self-sabotaging habit, and it's literally a habit. Everything is a habit. These are all habits. You have to retrain your body, retrain your mind, retrain everything to understand that you can love yourself, and there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, it is highly recommended that you love yourself at the beginning of any journey, at the beginning of anything, because in order to love yourself, you have to understand yourself. You have to know what you want and what you don't want. You have to know what your limits are. You have to know what's acceptable to you and what's not. You have to know what you'll put up with and what you won't. You'll have to know when you're being treated less than the way you deserve to be treated, and when someone isn't adding value to your life. You have to have the ability to be able to separate yourself. So yes, we all feel certain things for people, and we all have these, I guess, conflicting battles within ourselves about how we feel versus what we need to do, or how we feel versus, what the facts are. So go with, if something is hard, there's something, to say about, the road less traveled and all that. There's a lot of reasons why people don't continue on in their goals. And I'll tell you, if you ever hit a roadblock, the answer is not to turn around. The answer is to push through. If you ever are in a situation that's not good, it doesn't mean that you're not good. It just means that you're not in a good situation. So eliminate that negative talk. Eliminate the whole "it's my fault" mentality, or "I can't do this," or "that person isn't with me because of my flaws." No, it has nothing to do with that. We are all here. This is interesting. A girl that I have been talking to, she told me, I actually talked to her today, and she was saying, we're all going to die anyway. And I found that to be so interesting because, yes, it is true that we all are going to die, and we all are going to die. Like literally, we're all in this together, in this world, in this life. And that's kind of a little comforting, that it's so unifying that we're all here living for a purpose. We have a purpose. Every day that I wake up and breathe, I know that there's a purpose for me, and I know that there's a reason that I'm still here, because I know where the end of the road is. The end of the road is the final, is the grave, and we're all getting there. I'm not satisfied sitting here and saying that I'm going to die anyway, so I'm not going to make these hard choices, and I'm not going to make these hard changes, and I'm not going to face all the fears that I've been ignoring for all these years. Why am I going to sit around and just wait for death? If that's the case, there's no need to wait for death. I mean, there is no value in that life. I'm not going to wait for opportunity. I'm not going to wait for death. I'm not going to wait for anything. I'm going to literally get up every single day and decide what it is that I don't like about my life, or what it is that I want to improve in my life. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to take one single step in that direction, because that's the only way that I'm satisfied to live at this point. And in the past, I have gone very far in my journeys, and I have gone very far in achieving something. And when I've reached that point, there's always been, and this is my fault, I'm not blaming anyone else, there's always been either a person that I use as a distraction when things get hard. There's either been something, a place, anything besides, here's the roadblock, I hit the roadblock, and then because I'm hitting this roadblock, let's say the roadblock is called a plateau, or let's say the roadblock is I lost 100 pounds and I still don't feel good about myself in the past, or I still view myself as ugly, this, that, and the other, and all the negative things I've told myself for all these years. That's when I would turn to someone else, a distraction. And someone then would maybe see something in me that I didn't see in myself, and tell me I'm pretty, and tell me I'm beautiful, and want to be in a relationship with me. Or I would hang out with a group of people, or I would buy certain clothes and spend my money and, work all my hours and then spend my money on material things. None of those things brought me satisfaction. None of those people, places, or things brought me satisfaction, because I didn't realize that I needed to focus on the journey inside as well as the outside. It wasn't just about fixing the exterior. It wasn't about getting to the specific number on a scale. It was, what is wrong with you, Farnaz, that even when you accomplish everything that you do, even when you're kind to someone, even when you have this great personality and you're a people person and you genuinely care about people and you put your best face forward to the entire world, what is it that when you get into your private space and you're alone and you're with yourself, you cannot acknowledge your worth? Why? Why are you not acknowledging that you are worth everything and that you are beautiful and that you are loving and that you are deserving of everything good in the world and that God created you to have the best of everything and you were created exactly the way you're meant to be? Why? Why was I alone in my own space and able to be so abusive to myself and so abusive to myself in my mind? I was extremely abusive to myself in my mind. Every step that I took forward, I made sure to make myself feel so badly about it that I would doubt myself no matter what I did. And this is the self-sabotaging behavior I'm talking about. If you're literally waking up every morning with that defeated attitude, with the, I don't know what my life is about and I don't know where it's going and I can't do this and I can't do that, you are absolutely right. You can't do anything. You can't fix anything. You can't move forward because you're stuck in the mentality of someone who cannot do anything for themselves. But if you wake up and you decide, it is literally that simple. You decide that you're no longer going to accept everything that you did in the past, and you're no longer going to repeat all the behaviors that you repeated in the past. You have just took the first step in making that change. Accept responsibility. Your life is where it is right now because you wanted it that way. And unless you didn't want it that way, it wouldn't be there, because there are many people in many circumstances all over the world that rise above their circumstances, that rise through and get past their difficulties and achieve greatness. I'm not saying it's everybody, because greatness is not meant for everybody. Greatness is meant for someone willing to do the work to get there. And honestly, I've gotten to the point where I've lost over 100 pounds. And yes, someone looking at me from an outside perspective that does not know that I did that would still see the girl that's obese and needs to lose weight. And absolutely, from an outside perspective, that is what you might see. But on the inside, I am no longer that girl that sees that about myself. And I used to be. I used to lose all this weight and achieve all these things, muscle tone and definition and all the things that I wanted in the mirror, but I couldn't see past the mirror image of myself, and I could not love myself no matter what I did. That was a major issue. And this journey has taught me that loving myself means loving every single up and every single down that I experience in this journey, and seeing myself with this unconditional love that a parent sees for their child. That's me. I have to look in the mirror and love myself on my worst days, on my best days, on the days I feel prettiest, on the days I feel most accomplished, on the days that I feel that I failed at something or that I slipped up. I have to love me, nobody else, me. And I'm okay with that. And I'm in the best relationship of my life right now because I've taken responsibility and I've started loving myself. I have started looking in the mirror at myself the way I always wanted maybe someone to look at me. I think the first step is to look at yourself separated from everyone else. And that includes parents and spouses and children and everybody. Everybody in your life adds to your life, but it isn't your life. And I say this because I have family and I have people in my life that mean so much to me, but take all that away because we aren't born with anybody here. Take all that away, and am I happy with the person that I am? And am I happy when I'm alone? And the answer now is yes. And it took me a long time to get here. And it took me countless failures, countless stumbles, countless falling down and staying down for a long time and then getting back up. But if I didn't get back up, I would still be down. So for every fall, there's a rise if you choose it. If you choose that every failure has a comeback, you will come back. You will be better. Take everything you learned from the previous failure and make it a tool that you add into your pocket that you can then use for when you face that same roadblock again, because you will. These patterns are very similar. There's You always start something, and in the beginning when you start a new habit, it's really difficult because you have to retrain your body and your mind and all this stuff to kind of get back in that mindset. And once you're in that mindset and you're feeling good, you're feeling great and accomplished, and pounds are coming down, or you're seeing muscle definition, you're reducing your body fat, all the things that you have in your mind that are goals, then it comes a point where the body adjusts. The body is adjusting to these changes, and your diet, let's say, is becoming boring for you. That just means that it's time to up your game. That just means it's time to switch things up and attack it differently. Attack your day differently. Attack your workout, your diet, your goals differently. Set more goals. There's not just one goal. I don't have just one goal to lose weight. I don't have just another goal to get definition and all this stuff. I do not. I cannot believe for the first time in my life that I have a goal besides losing weight. I have a goal that sees myself in the future helping other people get out of the position that I was in, helping other people get out of the prison that is their minds, and the prison that is their bodies, and the prison that is their addictions to the foods that are marketed and processed and put into our bodies to make us want to go back and create these habits. So my vision for myself is no longer the mirror image of the person that I see. It's going beyond that. I love the mirror image in the mirror right now, and anything I do is an improvement on that. Please look at your life in that positive light and let it flourish in front of you. That is the only way to achieve anything. And don't talk about what you want to achieve. I have told my friends and family for many years what I wanted to achieve. I want to lose weight. I think everyone watching and everyone who knows me would know that probably one of the first things I've ever talked about is losing weight. And that's because I felt like such a failure for losing weight the first time and gaining it back. And I've always talked about it. And I think any guy I've ever met too has always known that I wanted to lose weight. And every girl, I mean, literally everybody, pretty much. And that's been the discussion that I've had for all these years. But if instead of talking about it and wishing and dreaming and hoping, I implemented actions and goals in order to achieve it, I might have been there maybe quicker, or maybe, whatever. But I'm not looking back anymore, because every single setback has given me experience and taught me something new. And I'm here today recording this for you to watch, to understand that not everybody's road to success is the same, and not everybody's goals are the same or action plans are the same. But if you have a vision for your life and you see yourself differently than if I see myself differently now in my mind, I don't want to be this person in 365 days from now. I'm not going to be the same person in 365 days from now. I'm going to be the vision that I envision every single day. And I'm going to be the person that I want to be, because I am putting into place actions every single day in order to achieve it. That's the difference. The difference is telling me that you don't know why you're not losing weight, and me telling you why, and you responding back with, I can't because. That right there is something you need to eliminate. That right there is a reason that you're trying not to succeed. What's important to you? What is important to you? Ask yourself, is it important for you to be successful? Is it important for you to have a healthy diet or an overall optimal health, or successful in school and this, that? If you don't apply yourself in school and college and this, that, and the other, you don't get the grades. It's the same thing with anything. And maybe diet is a little more complex because people turn to food for a lot of reasons, but I would have to argue the same argument of anything else and say that if you put in the effort, even when it comes to diet, you will see the results. It's inevitable. It's not something that can't happen for you, or is only happening for the person that you know that lost 300 pounds. There's a girl on Instagram. I love this girl. She's amazing. She started at 485 pounds and lost 312 pounds in 2 years. In 2 years, she lost 312 pounds. She didn't have surgery. She didn't use pills. She didn't have a trainer. She didn't have a meal plan. She didn't know how to cook. So you're telling me that this girl who knew nothing and could achieve nothing at that point in her journey, you're telling me someone that looks at someone who's 485 pounds would say, okay, yeah, you're not going to be able to lose weight. But she decided that she is going to lose weight, and she did it. And she's continuing to do it every single day. And I applaud her for that. And I think that's amazing. So don't look at what everyone else says you can and can't do. What can you do? Are you giving up before you even start? Are you saying, no, I can't get rid of that particular food item because it's so good? I had a woman at the bank tell me that she needs to lose, I don't know what amount of weight, but she said she knows she's gained about 15 pounds and all that, but that she's greedy, literally her own words, that she's greedy and that she needs fried chicken. And I literally said, no, you don't need fried chicken. You want it. So you don't need fried chicken. You don't need fast food. You don't need cookies and cake and all that stuff, because guess what? You will survive without those items. What you do need is your health, and your health doesn't mean your outside appearance. Inside, what's going on? What are your arteries doing? Your heart, your liver, all your organs. Are they healthy? Are they functioning properly? Just because you're 120 pounds doesn't mean you don't have issues on the inside. I've known people that have been a low weight with extremely high cholesterol levels. You're not living your best life, because there's no way you can live your best life like that. And I'm sorry, like, I'm very passionate about this because I have been on the other end of it. I have been the girl that made every excuse in the book not to make any changes. So I'm talking from someone who knows. And I'm also talking from someone who knows how miserable I was living my life, how completely miserable I was. And now it's like, I cannot believe how different my life is. And because like I wish that I kind of knew how different my life would be when I decided to live differently, because it's so freeing. It's like being let out of prison and looking back and be like, geez, I wish I could have been let out years ago. And it's okay, because I know the value of being free now because of everything that I went through. So don't look at your past and make that a reason that you can't move on in the future. I'm moving on. I'm making the moves I need to make in order to live the life I want for myself, to live a life in this amount of time that's not guaranteed to me, to make a difference, to leave an impact behind, to make other people understand that their life is in their hands and in their control and they can do anything they want. That would be the best gift, like, for me to leave behind when I'm no longer on this earth. And honestly, if I could live better being in the situation that I was to start, anyone can live better. And I don't know your circumstances and I don't know what you go through, but I know that there's a possibility for you to get through it, because if you weren't able to handle your difficulties, you wouldn't be facing them. So accept that you are capable of everything that you want, and accept that you're capable of seeing past the difficulties and working through the difficulties to get to what you need to, and stop self-sabotaging your progress yourself, and do not allow anyone into your life that will self-sabotage it for you or make you feel sad and depressed and upset and emotional. You need and deserve the best from anyone and everyone in life, but most of all, you deserve to treat yourself the best, to be the best, speak to yourself kindly, and be the best that you can be to yourself in order for others to understand what you are willing to accept and not accept, and in what vision you hold yourself. Do you respect yourself? Do you love yourself? If you do, and if you live your life that way, others will also come into your life that respect and love you and value your time and value you as a person. So please do that for yourself first before you expect anyone to do it for you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please like, subscribe, share my videos. The more people that understand this message, the more people can make changes in their own lives. And it would be such a better world if we were all living our lives happily and with a vision of hope instead of misery. All right. Love you. Bye.